Coming to you live from the rinks in Ophog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside our cameraman Wally Mitchell, taking you through a pair of games on this Sunday evening, starting in the JV division and ending in the varsity. Getting us kicked off tonight, Northport, Huntington, and Connetquot, Sayville. For Connetquot, Sayville, and the T-Birds, it has been a roller coaster start to the season, and that continued last week with their arguably worst defeat of the year, an 8-0 shutout loss to St. Anthony JV Gold. They lost 13-2 to St. Anthony JV Black on October the 1st. You could argue was their worst loss of the year. Prior to that, a good showing in Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue, a tightly contested back-and-forth 7-6 loss. And before that, 2 wins, one against KPC 5-4, another against Sachem 7-4. And so trying to get back in the win column following 2 consecutive losses here for Connetquot Sayville. For Northport Huntington, following a 7-0 shutout loss to Sachem, they got their first win of the season. Came against the very same Smithtown JV Blue team by a score of 5-3. And that was on November the 10th, just 6 days ago. And so looking to keep the good times going is Northport Huntington. They notably also have a 3-3 tie against Longwood, who are rather high up in the standings as they currently sit. Let me get it quickly, an updated view of the standings. Make sure I have the updated view. I do. Okay, so yeah, 5-1-2 are Longwood in 4th place. Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red sandwiched between the 2 St. Anthony teams at the top at 1 and 3, or the St. A's teams. And now, the anthem playing. I'll step aside. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, LI Sports Network. And with the conclusion of the anthem, starting lineups up on the ice, we appear to be set for action here on the North Rink on this Sunday evening. Starting in net, confirmed goaltender for Northport Huntington. He is the only goaltender out on the ice in Tiger White, Gold, and Navy Blue, Rex Moscotti. And on the other end of the ice, for Connetquot Sayville, it's going to be number 30, John Higgins, getting the start. And so we are underway, first period, taken by Algieri. Algieri out of the zone with speed for the Tigers. Matarese chips it ahead. Worrell, who in that game 6 days ago scored on his birthday. Ganesi hands it back to Matarese. Deflected wide by Ganesi. Played up the far boards by Worrell. And Mikowski will hand it back to Matarese. Mikowski had a huge game in that win. 3 goals, a hat trick for Peter Mikowski. Rupert tries to bank one to center. He will. Goes all the way down and played by Mascotti, avoiding the icing. And a turnover. Goldstein scores! Max Goldstein. One turnover. It's in the back of the net. 1-0 Connetquot Sayville. Didn't get a chance to mention Goldstein at the top. The leading scorer for the T-Birds. They go as he goes. And after getting blanked against St. A's, waste no time getting on the board early. Just over a minute gone by in the game. The first shot directed at Mascotti. Over the shoulder, under the bar, a beauty from Max Goldstein as he collects his team high 12th goal of the season, and that is up there for the lead in the JV division as well. Backhand shot, Goldstein, dangerous again, and a blocker save made by Mascotti. Trying to hold it at the blue line. Scherer, he could not. Henderson played to Cohen, shot nearly banked in, back door by Fasaro. Back on the stick of Cohen. Out of the zone. Right back in comes Fernandez, just out of the zone, offsides. Call against the Tigers. 13:07, I'll get my clock caught up. 13:07 left here in the first period. Thunderbirds on top of the Tigers by a score of 1-0. Ganesi against Quinlan Riley for the faceoff, and Riley wins it, tries to go forward with it. Instead, it's Quinn who comes away with it, backhands down the far boards, handled by Rupert behind the net, held in at the far blue line by Junkins. Back down low, nice play, Quinlan Riley gains possession, and away come the T-Birds. Polidoro on as trying to finesse it across ice was number 28. Number 28 for the T-Birds. They don't have a number 28 on the roster. It looks like that is Theodolu, so listed as 21, wearing 28 tonight, Lucas Theodolu. Meanwhile, Algieri tries to go D-to-D to Junkins. It gets by him. Junkins first on it, far corner. Plays it along the near side, past Rupert. Skating hard after it, here is Cohen. Cohen will get there first. Cohen greeted by Nasta, good poke check by Nasta, and now Rupert in the near corner, checked by Cormac Driscoll. Play to the opposite corner, Theodolu will get there first for the T-Birds, over skates. Cohen tracking back to it. Sent around Cormac Driscoll. 11:40 to go here in the opening period. Northport and Huntington have had the better of the offensive zone time as that puck is flung sky high over the glass and out of play by Nasta. And Tigers better the play to this point in the game, but 1-0. Those defensive zone turnovers can be lethal. So Ganesi to take the draw against Goldstein to the right of Higgins. It is won by Ganesi, back to Matarese. And flung out of the zone by the T-Birds. Goldstein aggressive on the forecheck, nearly forced a turnover to Haggerty there. And instead, Tigers take it back. Towing the line, staying onside, Worrell. It's Mikowski. Mikowski trying to play one through, hit a stick, gathered in by Ganesi, back to the opposite point for a rip wide. It came off the stick of Matarese. Worrell behind the net. Worrell. Checked by Nasta, and now Goldstein takes over. Here comes Max Goldstein. Goldstein dangles. Goldstein splits the D. Trying to catch back up with it one-handed. And believe it went on goal, deflected, and now behind the net. Goldstein and Matarese. Matarese backhands around for Mikowski. Mikowski centering pass in the skates to Worrell, handled by Ganesi. Ganesi over the line onside. Walks to the slot, fanned on the shot. Nasta and Ganesi in the far corner. Ganesi powers through, out in front, save made Higgins. Point blank on Mikowski. And now banked to the line, not out, held in by Matarese. Now Mikowski with it once more, 2-on-1 developing down low. Try to get the pass across to an open Worrell, but it was in the skates of Brussi. Now back out in front, and just missed the stick of Worrell. And gathered back in by Goldstein, who has it behind the net. Rushed by Mikowski, around Mikowski goes Goldstein, and now he tried to get it over to his teammate there, Nasta. Missed him, still in the zone. Matarese tried to play it on further, and eventually to the line, not out, held in this time by Mikowski. Round it goes, Worrell to catch up with it. 9:40 to go, first period. It is the T-Birds in the red and yellow Flames-colored jerseys over the Sabres-esque jerseys of Northport Huntington. Here is Matarese, a dominant shift here for Northport Huntington in the offensive zone. Nothing to show for it just yet. Worked on back for a shot. That goes over the net, off the stick of Finn Driscoll. Fasaro. And now Grayson Henderson takes over. Henderson marches around the net. Watched by Riley. Out in front. Save Higgins! As he stones Matthew Cohen. And now Goldstein outward. Goldstein far circle, a drive, and a stick save made by Mascotti. Turn back over to Nasta. Nasta trying to get around Worrell, nearly couldn't. Has to track back to it. Does Nasta. Nasta has it knifed away. Nice play by Henderson. Walks. Henderson shot, glove save made by Higgins, who has been huge to start the game here for the T-Birds, keeping them ahead 1-0. Face off to the left of Higgins. Looks like the linesman is doing some work on the ice there, causing the delay right out in front of us. A TV timeout, perhaps. 8:35 left first period. T-Birds leading 1-0. Good time to remind you to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Tons of great stuff going on up there. One and only Wally Mitchell with some awesome stuff planned for the socials that we've started to unveil. And as always, keeping you up to date on everything going on in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Fanning on a shot. Well, it's Ganesi. He'll take it around behind. Ganesi, far circle, denied Higgins. Rebound save, Higgins. Fasaro. Back to Ganesi. Try to return it to Fasaro. And now Theodolu. Leads Proscia. Proscia with Maisie. Proscia, long shot, glove save, Mascotti. And he'll hold on to it. With a little over 8 minutes left here in the first period. Face off controlled by the Tigers. They flip to center. Theodolu. As it turned over, and lead pass, Cohen finds Quinn, and Quinn's shot goes wide. Pushed on across. Proscia with it. Now Maisie, Milo Maisie, the second leading scorer on the T-Birds. Flings one behind the net, now out in front. No one could get on the other end of it. Theodolu. Backhands, deflected by Maisie toward the middle of the ice, where it's handled by Fernandez, who skates it free. Alone in front, Maisie wide with the shot. And now Cormac Driscoll with it. Driscoll, nice move at the near circle. Try to split the D, and Rupert got the stick in. Nasta with it. Trying to skate it out for the T-Birds. They have a 1-0 lead. Turns it over, though. And away comes Ronan Driscoll. Driscoll a shot. Ronan. And it's stopped again by Higgins. Bank to center. Slowed down by Junkins. Aiden Junkins high off the glass. Wraps around the wall. Loose puck picked up by Worrell. Alexander Worrell. Going to work on Nasta. Nasta knocks Worrell down. Good clean hit there from Nasta. Held in at the far point by Junkins. Slid it wide. And now lifted to center where Goldstein takes over. Goldstein misplays it. Ganesi dumps in. Worrell chases after it. He'll be the first on it. In the opposite corner, the near corner. Going to work on Rupert. Goldstein and Kuliber there as well. Ganesi digging at it for the Tigers. Digs it out. Ganesi turns around, takes the shot, and it's stopped by Higgins. The latest episode of Rinks and Reality is a podcast hosted by my friends Travis Quigley and, of course, Paul Trentini. Produced by our cameraman here tonight, Wally Mitchell. The latest episode featured Jake Temkin, former Farmingdale State University Ram goaltender. Discussed his time with the Rams and what's going on in his life and reality after hockey. A connecting theme throughout all the episodes. Definitely worth a listen. Paul described it as one of the funniest the other night. Goldstein trying to come out with it. Oh, Jerry there to bank it ahead. Got past Riley. Cohen trying to bat it over to Henderson. Goldstein picks it up. Goldstein, his lone goal. The difference in the game this far. Goldstein shoved down from behind by Jerry. That gets the official's arm up. Delayed penalty going against Northport Huntington. It'll be the first penalty of the game. Unless we get a goal here. Brucey down low. One-time shot. Goes wide off the stick of Kuliber. Wheeling with it here is Nasta. Nasta trying to get around Junkins, does centers, and couldn't get on the other end of it. Was Kuliber, but Goldstein draws the penalty. As the fan to my right shouted out to in 10, I would expect that to be the case for checking for behind.
There you go.
So power play T-Birds gets underway. Maisie shot wide and now collected by Matarese. Matarese flying through the neutral zone. Long shot found its way into the glove of Higgins, who covers up. Minute 47 left on the man advantage for the T-Birds. And a little over 4 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the first period. Mikowski try to bank it along, attempting to move it out. Nasta back for Maisie. Maisie up the wall. Proscia too far for him. Long shot deflected on. Another save made despite being on the power play there by Higgins. And he remains sharp for Connetquot Sayville. So yeah, the penalty checking from behind assessed to Nicholas Algieri. Cormac Driscoll serving the 2 minutes. Algieri will be off for 10. Meanwhile, though, as we play on, it's forced in deep by Chris Quinn. Goldstein now with it. trying to get things going here on the power play. They haven't had much time in the offensive zone. Signaling to his wingers to get up ice. Quick give and go, and here away goes Goldstein. Goldstein speed into the zone. Goldstein, wrist shot from the high slot. Blocker save made Moscati. Rebound taken behind, held in near point by Nasta. Nasta dekes around Quinn. Centers one across, just out of the reach of Riley. Riley trying to track back to it. He and Mikowski go down, no call. Goldstein lost a handle to Matarese, and away comes Liam Matarese. Matarese shorthanded. Nasta gets over to swat at it. Now T-Birds come back up ice. It's Goldstein. Deeks, far shot on the far circle. Right into the NH of goaltender Rex Moscati, who outside of that first shot he faced has been perfect. Power play continues for another 10 seconds. Crucial face-off win in the defensive end by Northport Huntington in terms of getting that killed off. Goes all the way down off the pad of Higgins. And we're back to even strength. 0 for 1 tonight on the power play for Connetquot Sayville. Another shot toward Higgins from long range is stopped by the T-Bird netminder. T-Bird's power play. We don't have precise stats. We have the amount of power play goals per game, though, and they average just under half a goal per game. So 0.4 goals per game coming by way of power play. T-Bird's able to break out here. Proscia had it knocked away from behind. Trying to get a stick on it was Pomodoro. Instead, it is Northport Huntington. Cormac Driscoll taking a clean check into the boards there from Rupert and past the skate of Aiden Junkins, trying to keep in. Shoveled ahead by Finn Driscoll onto the stick of Harry Rupert, and now it is Max Goldstein spinning away from Morrell, and now speeding away from Morrell is Goldstein. Goldstein flies on in. Goldstein far circle, holds, fire, save, rebound. Cleared out from in front by Junkins. And Junkins will shovel it all the way down ice. That'll be an icing against the Northport Huntington Tigers. With 1:35 left in the first period. Goldstein is 12th of the season.
That's it?
Is the difference so far in the game. Face off to the left of Moscati. Attempting to win it forward, playing it toward the slot, taken away and skated up ice by Henderson. Henderson caught from behind by Goldstein. Nasta there as well, trying to make a play on it. Nasta backhands into the neutral zone where it's settled down by Matarese. Matarese challenged by Kuliber. Attempting to spin away from Kuliber. And now flipped in by Cohen.
Stay high, you go.
Rupert fires it near side. Handled by Kuliber. Kuliber over the line, takes a wrist shot high over the net. Picked up on the opposite side by Quinlan Riley, who busts on in. Riley shot off the side of the net. Quinlan Riley in the near corner. Goes toward the net, picked up now by Goldstein, tries to get under it from in tight. And now a delayed penalty going to go against the Connetquot Sayville Thunderbirds, as getting knocked down out in front was Cohen, and now more whistles come. It's Quinlan Riley who will go off to the box. He joins Jerry, who's still sitting for the 10-minute misconduct from hitting from behind.
Hey, mismatch right here, mismatch. Weak side.
Power play T-Bird, power play Tigers first of the game, but here comes Goldstein shorthanded. Goldstein is in. Goldstein, backhand save made Moscati. Goldstein
20.
with open ice. Try to bank it to himself. Creates a turnover. Ganesi centers. Rejected by Brussy. And all the way down. So a dangerous look. Shorthanded there for Max Goldstein. Denied by Moscati. Tigers try to reorganize on their first power play of the night. That'll come over to the second period. As we've come to the end of the first, 1-0 Connetquot Sayville Thunderbirds on a goal scored by Max Goldstein. So we'll step aside and be back for the second period in just a moment. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Wally Mitchell on the cam. Connetquot Sayville and Northport Huntington. It is the T-Birds of Connetquot Sayville ahead 1-0, but it is the Northport Huntington Tigers that have a power play coming over from the end of the first period here into the second. Minute and 10 seconds now carrying over. Going to get on the board. Higgins in net for the T-Birds has been excellent thus far in the game. Matarese near circle, D-to-D pass. Long shot, glove save made by Higgins. On the shot taken by Jack Fernandez, who wears the C for this Tigers team. Got the pass from Matarese, who wears the A. Ganesi, the other letter wearer, to take the draw against Maisie. He wins it. Sent in behind. Ganesi, written into the boards by Rupert. And Rupert able to poke it ahead and flip all the way down by the Adolu. On goal to Moscati, plays it to Fernandez. Fernandez, stretch pass, hits the stick of Mikowski, who skates in after it. Rupert there. Mikowski and Rupert come together along the near side. Corner, still going to work Mikowski. Another check there by Rupert. Rupert gets backed into. 2-on-2 battle continues. Ganesi, Theodolu, Rupert, and Mikowski, and eventually comes to Matarese, walks, fire save, Higgins doesn't know where it is, rebound, they score! Batted in front, and I believe it is Chris Quinn who will get the goal. One of the hardest working players on Northport Huntington. Quinn the goal, his first of the season, well earned. And what do they say? Go to the net. That's exactly where Quinn is. Higgins makes the first save. Doesn't know where the rebound is, and it's backhanded past the Thunderbird goaltender for the equalizing goal. Comes by way of power play. Proscia trying to quickly get one back for the T-Birds. Never got a shot through there in the high slot. Cleared out. Brussy plays it ahead to Goldstein. Goldstein gliding through the neutral zone, showing off the skating ability. He'll circle back. Being watched by Fasaro and Henderson. Plays it across to Proscia, just out of the reach of his stick. Trying to go ahead with it. Kuhleberg with a poke check. Flipped on ahead and step up here from Nasta. Nasta skates into the offensive zone. Swiped away momentarily, right onto the stick of Goldstein. Goldstein with a deke. Goldstein unable to get past the stick of Junkins. To the line, held in by Nasta. Nasta to Proscia. Proscia circling. Poked away from him, though, however, by Cohen. Nasta tried to dump in and went off the shaft of the stick of Goldstein, and now Kuliber plays it in far side. Prosa chasing after it, unable to get there. First getting there was Junkins, and now Goldstein once more. Goldstein, a deke, tries to get around Cohen. Goldstein trying to get around Ronan Driscoll. And emerges out of the corner, plays it back to the point to Nasta. Nasta keeps in, delayed penalty going against Northport Huntington. They touch up, so another power play for Connetquot Sayville, their second of the game, and a chance to give them the lead back.
Do that and get the power play. Come on. Hey. There's no idea what he's doing. Use it though.
Power play T-Birds. Quinn from Jack Hernandez, officially the goal. And for Jack Fernandez, his second assist and point of the season for the Tigers captain. And Junkins off for Northport Huntington.
Slide in, D.
Comes to the blue line and chipped out of the zone by Worrell. Nasta on it. Nasta spinning away from Worrell. On for Goldstein. Goldstein flies by Quinn. Speeding into the offensive zone. Goldstein cuts to the middle. Shot blocked by Matarese. And over the stick of Nasta and out of the zone. Brussy with it. Brussy to Kuliber. Kuliber dumps in. Chases after it. Prosa should greet it on the other side of the ice. He will. Backhands around, but nobody there for the T-Birds. So Matarese, with plenty of open space, fires it down ice. Higgins to stop it. On for Nasta. Nasta attempts to play it up ice to Kuliber. Comes back to Higgins, who plays it back to Nasta. Nasta with Quinn forechecking. On the penalty kill, Prosta tapped it ahead right onto the stick of Fernandez, who fires in for Northport Huntington. Nasta back with it. Already half of the power play has been killed off here by Northport Huntington, and now Mikowski doing a great job on Goldstein, preventing him from getting up ice. Goldstein does eventually get by Peter Mikowski and moves in. Goldstein with a sea of Tigers. Able to skate around, wraparound try, doesn't go. Prosa trying to cash back to it. Mikowski boarded off, and now Goldstein has it poked away from him by Fernandez and out of the zone. Nasta quickly fires back in, but T-Birds gonna need to touch up.
That's your guy. That's your guy.
And now Jack Fernandez for Ganesi. Ganesi dumps in with just 4 seconds left on the power play. For the T-Birds, it comes to a close. So they're 0 for 2 tonight. Matarese, D-to-D pass. Fernandez, wrist shot, goes just wide. Believe it deflected in front. Delayed penalty also against Connetquot Sayville here as Matarese wheels it around and Nasta touches up. So trading power plays here in the second period. And a Northport Huntington Tigers power play that is 1 for 1 tonight. We'll get their second look. With 10 minutes exact left here in the second. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Like what you hear, be sure to give a like on the video. It always helps. Hit subscribe to always be notified as Riley sends it down. Worrell taps back for Ganesi. Ganesi in with speed. Poked away from him by Maisie, and Maisie fires it all the way down. Picked up by Matarese. Matarese around his net, into the neutral zone with speed. Matarese along the far boards, centers one, just off the end of the stick of Worrell. Mikowski played it back. Now over to Fernandez, who fires one toward the goal, blocked. Mattery swept it in front. Mikowski poked away from him onto the stick of Fernandez, who risks it. Deflected wide, right onto Mattery's. Mattery's couldn't get a shot through, now does, and a pad save made by Higgins. Worrell, near point, shot through a Long Island Expressway worth of traffic in front, doesn't get there. And now sent down ice by Theodolu. 40 seconds left on the power play for Northport Huntington.
Right out, right out.
Rupert avoiding the distraction and pressure of Henderson, does eventually cough it up. Sharp angle shot, not sure if it ever got on goal. Flip to the line, held in by Mattery's. Mattery's walks, Mattery's shot, diving block attempt. Rupert got on goal, save made Higgins. And Fernandez unable to keep in at the near point, and as Goldstein shrieking after it. Goldstein able to get the puck away from Fernandez. Centers went out in front. It was behind Kuhleberg. Gets sandwiched between two Tigers. Stays on his feet. Northport Huntington stretch pass hits Quinn. Quinn and Rupert one-on-one. Backhand shot. Glove. It goes in. His second of the game for Chris Quinn. 2-1 Tigers. As the penalty was set to expire, innocent looking backhand shot beats Higgins. Look far side, and the second goal of the year and game for Christopher Quinn puts Northport Huntington ahead by 1. As we are a little over midway through the second period.
Hey.
Kuhleberg has been sent to the box for unsportsmanlike conduct, as has Jack Fernandez. The penalties will offset, so no 4-on-4 or power play. As it is 2-1 in favor of the Northport Huntington Tigers. They are 2 for 2 on the power play tonight. Cormac Driscoll tries to force his way to the middle of the ice, taken away by Connetquot Sayville to the line, not out, and now it dribbles past the blue line, trying to go northward are the T-Birds. However, it's cut off by Ronan Driscoll and flipped in the other way by Matthew Cohen. Cohen controls along the near half wall. Backhanded by Junkins right into the equipment of Proscia. Sent the other way by Ronan Driscoll and picked up by Connetquot Sayville's Nasta. Nasta ahead. Too far for Quinlan Riley. And now played by Goldstein on the backhand, trying to get around Cormac Driscoll. Rolls on to the stick of Aiden Junkins, who plays it out of the zone. Nasta banks it ahead. Quinlan Riley with Goldstein and Proscia. Riley fires wide. Goldstein off the rebound and ricochet off the boards. Pops out on the other side. Max Goldstein wheeling. Gets around Quinn. Wrist shot, glove save made Mascotti. Behind the net, Quinlan Riley lost control, and it's banked to center by the Tigers. Brossi to Nasta. Nasta spinning away from Quinn. Nasta gets by another. Here comes Nasta. Now Goldstein picks up the loose puck. Goldstein near circle. Fire, scores! Max Goldstein, his second of the game, ties it at 2. On a play started by Nasta, finished by Goldstein.
Good play, Nasta.
You'll see Goldstein, too much space, picks his spot. Top shelf over the blocker and stick of Mascotti. Far side, 2-2 is our score. As Connetquot Sayville trying to hold off Sachem from a playoff spot. Northport Huntington with a win as well. Get to within 1 point as long as the win is in regulation. of said playoff spot. They'll have 5 with the win in regulation. And Connetquot, Sayville, and SCHSHL will remain at 6 points. And as far as SCHSHL is concerned, they'll each have played 9 games. Connetquot, Sayville as well, because they're playing tonight. So all those teams will have the same amount of games played and be within a point of each other. If Northport Huntington get the win, T-Birds get some breathing room with a win of their own. Theodolu banks to center. Matarese ahead, good read by Nasta, takes it away. Nasta moves in, far circle. Nasta hits the brakes and taken back away by Matarese. Good recovery there by the Tiger defender. And then he takes down behind the plate. That was Quentin Haggerty who got knocked down by Liam Matarese, who will sit for 2. You could call it roughing, you could call it interference. We'll get the official call in just a moment in a Thunderbirds power play, which is 0 for 2 tonight. We'll get its 3rd look. Roughing is the call on Matarese. Goldstein near circle, lets one fly into the glove of Moscati. And a quick stoppage. Goal, by the way, for Max Goldstein, his 13th of the season.
Slide in, Nick. Slide in.
Splits the D, comes all the way down. Nasta chasing after it. Henderson in after him. Henderson flies into the glass on his own accord. And Nasta will pick it up on the back end, skate it out of his own zone. Head up, trying to get around Algieri, who has returned to the ice following his corner. Centers one! They score! It's a hat trick for Max Goldstein. This one on the power play. 3-2 Thunderbirds.
That's a good look, Nasta.
So I'm not sure Nasta got credit with the assist on the last Goldstein goal. He absolutely will get credit for the assist there. As the Thunderbirds power play bears fruit. Proscia and Goldstein tangle together at the line, forcing an offsides. Lead pass Fasaro between his legs. Henderson picks it up. Grayson Henderson, wrist shot through the crease. Back to Algieri, who pokes it into the opposite corner. Henderson trying to spin out of a couple of Thunderbirds, and instead it's Goldstein there. Goldstein a flip to Scherer, and out of the zone it comes. So Goldstein from Nasta on the power play. Nasta picks up his 5th point, 3rd assist of the season. Meanwhile, there's Quinlan Riley, an opportunity.
That's an icing.
As Fasaro has iced the puck. With 3:21
That's a lot of sticks, man. Come on.
left here in the second. Three-2 Thunderbirds. They get an offensive zone face-off. Maisie to take it. And now a whistle, and going to tell the wingers to back off. Right off the draw, it's Theodolu ripping a shot that was blocked. Far point held in by Nasta. Now Kuliber backhands it down low for Maisie. Maisie near corner. Going to work on Fernandez. Chipped and out of the line. Brussy holds in. Quinn forces out. And now touching up just in time. Kuliber is Maisie. Sends it around the near wall to the opposite side. Cormac Driscoll playing it ahead, tapped off for Quinn. Long shot by Chris Quinn, never got through.
Good play.
Now out of the zone. Ronan Driscoll flipping back in. Nasta ahead of Maisie. Maisie, far circle, wrist shot wide. Brussy holds in. Brussy to the net. Cut off by Mikowski, who will flip out to center. Quinn chasing after it. Nasta trying to play it away from him. Quinn got it back and spun it behind Higgins. Theodolu trying to bank it out of the zone. Can't. Fernandez there. Takes a shot. Save. Rebound. Quinn couldn't quite have the angle on the stick. Pulls it out in front. Backhand shot. They score. And we are tied once more. Peter Mikowski from Chris Quinn behind the goal line. 3-3.
Yo. Take the ice.
Watch Quinn head up. Sees he's got Mikowski. Mikowski. Nifty little move going forehand to backhand. A little spinorama. With 2 minutes left here in the second. It's 3-3. Fernandez and Quinn picking up assists on the Mikowski goal. And for Peter Mikowski, his 6th of the season. And the first 5-on-5 goal scored tonight by Northport Huntington. They are offsides. They must touch up plenty of time now to organize for the Thunderbirds. So smartly they hand off to Goldstein. Goldstein high flip for Quinlan Riley. Matteries and Riley together. Played on further by Finn Driscoll. Here's Matteries. Goldstein poking at it. To the blue line, shot wide. Brussy chipping it up the near side wall. Cut off by Finn Driscoll. And now past the glove of Driscoll and speeding ahead Goldstein. Lifts the stick of Driscoll. Matteries coming over. And Driscoll fighting off the stick check of Matteries, brings it around the net. And he'll come all the way out of the zone and look for a reset. Nasta. Get it away from Worrell, but poked back in. Here comes Worrell, and Brussy comes over to make a good defensive recovery as his partner Nasta went up ice. Quinlan Riley takes a swipe at it. Grayson Henderson prevails. He'll move in near side. Henderson lost possession. Quinlan Riley flips ahead, hoping for Goldstein. He finds Goldstein in the dying seconds of the second. Goldstein a rip and a save made with the glove by Moscati. Goldstein got behind the defense. Used his speed. Going upstairs and standing up. Great piece of goaltending there from Rex Moscati. Keeps it tied at 3. Shot wide, Junkins around, and we have come to the end of the second period. 3-3 your score between Northport Huntington and Connetquot Sayville. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Branigan, Wally Mitchell will be back for the third period in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Rinks and Ophog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 3-3 here in the JV division as Cormac Driscoll walks in, fires, save made. Higgins put back out in front, and no goal, says the referee, and rightfully so, as another great save has been made by John Higgins between the pipes for Connetquot Sayville. Get you caught up on how we got here. It's a hat trick for Max Goldstein of Connetquot Sayville. He's got all 3 of their goals tonight, bringing his total of 14 on the season, which is the most in the JV division in just now his 6th game played. Jeremy Maresca of Longwood is a save made once again there by Higgins. Has 13 in 8 games played. Colin Inga of East Islip has 12 also in 8 games played. As for Northport Huntington, scoring has been spread out. 2 goals, first 2 of the season for Christopher Quinn, and a goal from Peter McCaskey. Algieri nearly lost it, and he had Max Goldstein flying in his direction. If he doesn't play that puck, that is a breakaway and potential goal the other way. Held in there by Cohen. Kuliber with it. As we're a minute into the 3rd period. All knotted up at 3. Cormac Driscoll. Cohen. Centers, hoping for Driscoll. Good stick lift there by Rupert. Quinlan Riley comes together with Fasaro in the opposite corner. Fasaro able to get it to Cohen. Cohen goes down, and that'll be a penalty against, I believe, Quinlan Riley, who looks skyward. You're going to get him on a trip. And Quinlan Riley heads to the box. Northport Huntington, 2 of those 3 goals coming by way of power play. And they'll get another look here to give themselves the lead early in this 3rd period. But you got to be careful. Max Goldstein, ever so dangerous shorthanded. He's got the puck here. Goldstein speeding around the defense. Goldstein on the backhand. Save made Mascotti. Big rebound. And another key stick lift, preventing it from happening.
Hey, 37.
Fernandez ahead to Ganesi. Ganesi, Henderson. Henderson over the line onside. Rips a shot just wide. Past the left pad of Higgins. Picked up far side by Cohen. Henderson shoving Nasta away. Gets to the puck. Fanned on the pass. And now comes away out of the zone. Goldstein first on it. Fernandez getting back. Shot. Scores! Max Goldstein snuck it between the pads. Hits the celly with a bunch of supporters there in front of the glass. 4-3, his 4th tonight. Short-handed goal, Max Goldstein.
Hey, let's get 6 or 7. Let's get 6 or 7.
Right through the wickets of Rex Mascotti. And it's 4-3. Thunderbirds, still plenty of time left though on the power play for Northport Huntington to effectively salvage it and get the game tied up now. Matarese over the line onside. Matarese holding firm, puts it out in front off a skate and just wide, and fired out of the zone by Milo Mazie. Mascotti stops it for Quinn. Quinn a flip near side. Mazie will get there, and Mazie fires nearly at the head of Proscia, who's got to duck out of the way of it, letting it go the length of the ice. Attempting to dangle around Proscia is Finn Driscoll. Driscoll runs into Mazie, and now back for Ganesi. who taps along to Mikowski. Mikowski back to Ganesi. Ganesi with Worrell over the line. 2 seconds on the power play. Steered on goal, sticked away by Higgins. Prevailing in the corner, though, is Ganesi. Looks over his options. Back to the point. Slap shot wide from Finn Driscoll. Worrell throwing a hit, another hit, as Theodolu tries to clear the zone and eventually does, as power play has expired. And not only did the Thunderbirds get the kill, but they get a shorthanded goal by Max Goldstein, picking up an assist on the Goldstein goal. As a matter of fact, is Nasta. It's his second helper of the night. Here's Matarese. Plowing his way through is Mikowski. Mikowski back on it. Spins one toward the middle, taken away by Maisie. Maisie leading Theodolu. Can he catch up to it? He does, and he chips it just wide. Fanned on behind the net by Cohen. Picked back up by Matarese. Matarese behind his intended target in Cohen. Thunderbirds take back. Prosha trying to bank it up the ice, and he runs into the official with the last name of Seltzer. Henderson fires in. Nasta bubbles over to it. Lost it to Fasaro. Centers, and a save made by Higgins. What a save! Absolutely robbed Grayson Henderson. Meanwhile, Theodolu on the forecheck. Matarese spins away from him. 9:52 and counting left here in the third period. It's the Thunderbirds ahead by 1. Fasaro sneaks around Nasta. Fasaro to the net, save made Higgins. Now Goldstein tracks back, creates space for himself, gets around Quinn. Quinn hustling back after Goldstein, but you could kiss him goodbye. Here comes Goldstein. Far circle, similar shot to the one he scored on, but getting the stick in position to make the save, Moscati. Brussi, Fasaro. Brussi sends in. Here's Algieri. Algieri for Henderson. Henderson avoiding Quinlan Riley. And on back, here's Fasaro. Time and space. Fasaro's shot never got through. And Prosha wisely hands off to Goldstein. Goldstein dangles. Goldstein couldn't get around Algieri. And Quinn up the far wall. That's one toward the middle of the ice. Nasta there to cut it off. Kuliber going ahead with it. He lost the handle, and now Quinn will flip back in before going for a change. 8:40 to go, third period. Scherer gives it up. Cormac Driscoll trying to step around Nasta, who recovers for his defensive partner. And now Goldstein to Nasta. Nasta walks, far circle Nasta. Shot it wide. And picking up the loose puck, Cohen. His lead pass for Worrell. Riley nearly had a play on it, so no icing, as Worrell crashes into the far boards. Picked up here by Goldstein. Goldstein lost it to Cohen. 8:03 left as Cohen flutters the puck into the Connetquot Sayville bench. And we get a stoppage with just over 8 minutes to go here in regulation time. It is 4-3. Connetquot Sayville over Northport Huntington. All 4 goals scored by Max Goldstein for Connetquot Sayville. Nice move here by Cormac Driscoll. Driscoll sent it across. Scherer fell down, pushed out in front, and taken over by Theodolu. Theodolu with Prosha. Theodolu sends in, chases after it, gets around Ronan Driscoll. Worrell there, and he flattens Theodolu in the far boards. Theodolu pops back up, and now whistles stop play.
That's another 2 and 10. Another one. 30. Turn the game.
Alexander Worrell goes to the box for Northport Huntington. And it'll be a power play for Connetquot Sayville. Penalty hasn't been updated in the system. It is now. It's roughing against Alexander Worrell. So no extra 10 minutes added on. As it gets by Maisie, here comes Ganesi, short-handed Ganesi. One-on-one with Rupert, gets around Rupert, takes the shot, save made, Higgins. Excellent stop by John Higgins on the Northport Huntington assistant captain. And Ganesi takes a hit from Nasta. Flies it across, and there's Goldstein fresh off the bench. Flipped across ice here to Nasta. Nasta back to Goldstein. Max Goldstein, wrist shot on, blocker save made by Mascotti. Pushed back out in front, gathered and cleared by Ganesi. Rupert. Chipped ahead by Proscia. And smacked back into the zone by Matarese. Intercepted, or rather picked up by Goldstein. Nasta. Return pass for Goldstein just a little ahead of him. And flipped back down ice by the Northport Huntington. Matarese takes it away. In comes Liam Matarese, far circle, Matarese. And I think a kick save there from Higgins. Nasta might have got the stick in as well. Great play by Quinn. Lifting the stick of Proscia, keeps it deep. Rupert on it, just 30 seconds remaining on the power play for Connetquot Sayville. It's been a dominant kill so far for the Tigers. Maisie giving chase for Jack Fernandez. Cut off in the neutral zone by Quinlan Riley. Just 10 seconds left on the power play. Fernandez has it back. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third period. We are back to even strength. Quinlan Riley lost it to Quinn, who fired it on goal. A stick save made by Higgins. And nice play by Maisie in the neutral zone. Tries to spring Goldstein. Goldstein couldn't quite get on the other end of it. Matarese there to cut it off. Matarese up the far boards. Nice play by Riley to take it away. And Riley just missed the stick of Goldstein. It rolls in on goal. Sticked away by Rex Mascotti. As Fernandez.
Right through him, Quinn.
Fernandez to Cohen. Tigers break out, trailing by one. They need a goal. Here's Henderson is in. Henderson! Save made by Higgins. Rebound picked up Matarese. Delayed penalty on the Connetquot Sayville. Centering pass. Worrell fanned on it. Another try. Oh, it deflected just wide. Henderson again. Here's Worrell. And gaining control are Connetquot Sayville. Northport Huntington, who have 2 of their 3 goals scored by way of power play, will get their third opportunity. Pardon, their 4th opportunity. They're 2 for 3 tonight. And it comes with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period of a game in which they trail by 1. Critical moment of the game. Keep in mind, their last power play, which they did not score on, a short-handed goal was scored against them by Goldstein, his 4th, which gave Connetquot Sayville their 1-goal lead. Quinn fires it on goal. Save made. Higgins did not quite collect the rebound. The scramble is on. They hack and whack away at it. Mikowski involved. Players keeping their cool. Not much extracurricular activity occurring in front of John Higgins. Penalty, by the way, is Nasta off for interference. It's Milo Maisie flipping down ice. Trying to kill as much time as possible on the forecheck is Goldstein. Junkins playing it away from him. Maisie trying to pick it up. Chipped ahead by Quinn. He's prevented from going any further by Rupert. And now Quinn back on the loose puck in the neutral zone. Skipped away from him. Junkins on the loose puck. Shovels ahead. Maisie cuts it off. Maisie can't clear. What a keep in there by Worrell, who backhands towards Higgins, who makes the save. Worrell in behind the Thunderbird goaltender. Flipped to the opposite side where it's kept in. Good keep in there by Junkins. Shot toward the net, deflected into the near corner. Picked up by Algeria. Jerry fires. That's blocked. Back for Junkins. Junkins and Goldstein together. Junkins plays it out in front and not able to get much on the shot. That time was Peter Mikowski. And so with 50 seconds left on the power play, Northport Huntington changed units. Three minutes, 20 seconds left in the third period. Listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brownigan, Wally Mitchell on the camera. Got a varsity game between West Islip and East Islip on directly after the conclusion of this one. We'll give or take the time it takes to clean the ice and warm up. Puck in the neutral zone. You can also follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Fernandez over the line onside. Back to Cohen. Wrist shot steered into the corner by Higgins. Rupert comes together with Ganesi. Ganesi emerges with the puck. Ganesi carries around. Ganesi out in front, and a last-second stick lift by Rupert might have prevented a goal on Cormac Driscoll. Now Matarese. Matarese behind the net. Out in front. Oh, denied by the glove of Higgins. Matarese again. Spun it on the backhand. Ganesi's direction. We're back to even strength. Goldstein hustles after it. Goldstein around the net. Hits the brakes. Lets Matarese fly by him. Centers a pass in between the feet of Theodolu. Taken by Cohen. Cohen at Cormac Driscoll. And sent out of the zone with the help there of Nasta and Theodolu. Driscoll, Cormac, near circle, shot, stick of Nasta in the way. Mikowski hustles after, gets to it, tries to bank to Fernandez, and it's fired out by Theodolu. Final minute and 42 seconds. Fernandez, down the near side, cuts in, Fernandez, getting over Maisie. Big time defensive play by Milo Maisie. And now all the way down the puck, Matarese senses Goldstein hustling after him, so he's got to pick up the pace. Does lose it to Goldstein, circling, and has it poked away from him by Fernandez. Whoa. Fasaro. Banks one ahead. Maisie in after it. Keep an eye on Moscati. He takes off to the bench. Empty net, Northport. Wait, he stops. Goldstein's blocked by Junkins. Moscati has returned to the net. Kuliber takes a shot. And Moscati with the save. And timeout signaled by the coaching staff of Northport Huntington. Head coach Nicholas Auletta with his assistants Frank Moscati and Walter Mikowski going to talk things over on the Northport Huntington bench. Meanwhile, for Connetquot Sayville, head coach John Rhee gathers his troops and devises a plan to hold the one-goal lead for the T-Birds as they are in search of win number 4 on the year. Meanwhile, Northport Huntington, as I mentioned at the jump, coming off their first win of the season. Came against Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue. trying to make it 2 in a row. They need a goal. Face-off, though, is deep in their own zone. So they'll have to win it,
3 back.
presumably, and clear. Instead, it's 1 back to Goldstein, who gets to Rupert, who wisely sends it into the opposite corner. Back out in for Goldstein, a drive and a save made Moscati. Remember that save. Back the other way come Northport Huntington Tigers, and back out of the net comes Moscati as Mikowski gets taken down, and we'll have a penalty against Connetquot Sayville. The plot thickens.
Hey, to the wall, to the wall.
And it's Milo Mazie. He's provided good defense here tonight, who is off in the box. Key loss for the Thunderbirds as they try to protect this 1-goal lead. It's a power play for the Tigers. 6-on-4. Shot just wide. Controlled by Ganesi. Ganesi lets one fly. Deflected and wide. Mikowski and Rupert in the corner. Kuliber there as well. A battle commencing in front of Higgins. Puck all the way down. Tigers running out of time. Fernandez overskates. Gets back to it. Just 7 seconds remain. Fernandez fires it ahead. Tapped into the zone. They chase after 3 seconds. 2, 1, and that'll do it. Connetquot Sayville hold on for their fourth win of the season. They improved to 4-5, narrowly defeating Northport Huntington, who fall to 1-7-1 on the season. It's a tough loss for the Tigers, a very close game, right down to the bitter end. Moscati and Higgins, I felt, both had great games. But ultimately, Max Goldstein proved to be too much for Northport Huntington to handle. His 4 goals, powering the T-Birds to victory here tonight. And that'll do it for our coverage here in this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Be sure to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Check out the podcast, Rinks and Realities. Walter Mitchell, Travis Quigley, and Paul Trentini. But for now, that is all. On behalf of Wally Mitchell on the cam, I'm Ryan Brannigan saying so long. And until next time, as always, have a good night.